So, what do you do when you get bad news? It could be any kind of bad news. It could be about your health or the health of somebody else that you love. It could be about your job. It could be about your housing situation. It could be about your children and maybe some mischief they got into. Well, here is what I recommend. First of all, assess the damage, understand what your options are. If it's health related, you can get second and third opinions from doctors. You can talk to friends that may have some knowledge about the illness. Do your research, search out your options and be proactive and use wise judgment. And if it comes to a place that you absolutely can't change a situation, and again, it could be related to your health, it could be related to a personal matter in your life, maybe a relationship that's falling apart for you. If you absolutely can't change it, then I recommend letting go. Letting go, surrendering to the reality that's in front of you, and staying present, staying mindful, intentional, and present in the moment. This is much harder than it sounds like because you're probably experiencing a lot of anxiety, and that anxiety is related to the places in your life that you cannot control. And if you are up against a big piece of bad news and change that's inevitable, that's going to happen, then you might not be able to exercise a lot of control, except over one thing. You can control the way you react to this bad news. Again, you can control the amount of research you do, trying to determine the outcome or the potential outcome of a bad news situation. You can put forward effort and maybe in reestablishing a relationship that you think is falling apart. Whatever it looks like, if it's a job situation, you can try to talk to your boss, talk to your supervisors, try to remedy the situation if you can. But when you can't change it, then let go. Let go and pay attention to your own reaction to the change that's inevitable in your life. So there's many, many examples here. It could be related to the person you love who's actively dying. There's only so much you can do, and possibly nothing you can do to control the situation. That, again, is going to cause greater and greater anxiety, even panic at times in you. But when you're able to surrender and let go of the control and just be present for that person in your life, experience whatever time you have left with that person in a really mindful, present way. I experienced this several times in my life, and I've used the example of the year before my father died. It was inevitable that he was going to die, and I made the choice to be with him. And it was very simplistic. We would just spend our days together. Sometimes he'd want to watch his favorite TV show or take a ride in the car, get his scratch-off lottery tickets, get his favorite food. And being able to sit with my father and have those times with him and letting go of the worry and the anxiety and things I could not change in that situation made me much more grateful for those last months together with him. so I wasn't succumbing to the intense anxiety. I did at first experience panic attacks. I've talked about that before too. And as soon as I stopped fighting the panic and released into it, then it began to decrease. So these are very difficult concepts to incorporate into our lives when we're facing a huge loss or that incredibly bad news that we're facing. And yet, if you're able to follow these steps, and some of it's a part of my blueprint for healing, and be able to face the reality that's in front of you and stop, again, trying to control it, then you can stay not just present, but you can also stay grateful for whatever it is that you have in your life. So again, maybe it's a housing situation where you're forced to move from the house that you've been in for a long time, and you're angry and you're trying to fight it and trying to figure out how you can stay. And ultimately, it might not work. And so if you're able then to let go and look at the options in front of you, maybe you have to move in with a roommate, move in with one of your children for a while. Just feel that place of gratitude and stay present for what's in front of you at the moment, which will also help you be available and open to other opportunities that might come your way in the universe. I hope this helps. Getting bad news sucks. It really does. And we all hate to hear that bad news, or when we know it's about to come and we start immediately going into panic mode. So think about this. I am here to support you. If you need my help, just reach out.